Hello, I'm live. Okay, it's been a while. Oops. It's been a while. I've not been live, so I've come online to check in and to let you know I am here. Excuse me, I am so tired. Every time I plan to come online, it never happens. And because I'm back to back with clients, it can be tricky, especially with all the content creation and all the work I have to do behind the scenes, because I'm by myself doing this. So I'm here. Excuse my tiredness, but at least let me check in, because we're now in May 2025. So if you have questions and I'm offline, just write under the comments. If you have your way of connecting with me, then just DM me. If you have any questions about small size locks, locks in general, whether it's Sisterlocks, Microlocs, whatever, then ask, and I will try my best to answer it, even if I don't come live. But I thought you deserve to see me because I have been posting, but it'd be good for us to interact. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me any questions. This is spontaneous, basically. This is me just spontaneously coming online, connecting with you guys. I wanted to talk about thinning, aging and thinning. And what I'm hoping for is, if there's a young person thinking about Microlocs or Sisterlocks and researching the process, then I'm hoping this post will help you make an informed decision as to the direction you want to go with regards to small size locks. You have options. That's what's great about this moment. There are so many options. It's not like when I was researching Sisterlocks and the small size locks, and it was just Sisterlocks, and you just sat down and got your hair done, and you didn't even know you had a grid. My day, you didn't even know you had a grid. And then there were rules. You have to get your hair done, 4 to 6 weeks. And if you don't have it done, your hair would fall out. That was the narrative. Okay. You're lucky. There's enough information now, including my information, to show you that you can do whatever you want to do. Because that's the point. I want us to have options, because when you have options, it leads to your strands, your hair being attached to your head. That's what this is about. That's what Knotted Locs is about. That's what my practice is about. My practice is, I just don't want to see the balding I used to see and feel helpless, that I wasn't able to help because there was only one way. There was only the retightenings. And my prayers were answered, and I was given this gift to teach people how to create knotted locks on their small size locks. And the revelation is just incredible. The journey has just been incredible. I didn't understand it. I just knew that I wanted the back of my hair not to unravel anymore. I started knotting, and then it's just evolved, and now it's practiced. And I work with clients locally, where I'm based, and internationally. Online, I provide an online service, and I provide a one-to-one, me practicing knotted locks on clients' heads. And hopefully you can see, I share with you my experience and my knowledge, but it's ultimately to enhance your small size locks experience and for you to have the best time ever. I stress this, the best time ever wearing your small size locks. Like, have fun. Like, it's joy, it's fun, it's just light work, it's incredible. And when I teach you how to practice it, I teach you understanding it's light work. We are at a stage where we've gotten tired with the hairstyles, and we finally rest on locks, and we're like, well, locks forever. And then this terrible thing happens where you don't see the trauma. I see the trauma of people's hair thinning, balding, one lock there, space, one lock there. Those people don't come online. Those people, I can't even post their heads because it's not right, ethically, morally, because they'll know it's their scalp. So I can't show you what I see. That is my drive. I am you. You are me. If you are struggling and you have hair loss and it could be avoided, I want I want somebody to help rescue me. I want somebody to help give me the information. That's why I'm here. I am here to serve. This is pro the wearer. This is taking care of the wearer. That's why I teach the wearers of small size locks how to create knotted locks on their head, right? Because I feel like when I have tried to feed it through a partnership, a relationship with someone, or even thinking, let me use a third party, it gets infected, affected, diluted, and it gets confusing. And the thing is that as I practice, I teach, I form these relationships with my Knotted Locs clients globally and locally in the UK. I then share you the information instantly and immediately. And I like that. And then if you have a question, let me know. I'm a relationship girl. And so like, I like the connection I'm having with everyone. And I want to build on that because we are a community and we want our hair, our locks attached to our head. We want it attached and we want to have fun, right? Freedom of choice. So what's Knotted Locs all about? Knotted Locs is Melissa Blake's creation, divinely gifted to me, where I teach you how I practice diverse knotting techniques on a head. Ultimately, the idea is to reduce or eliminate slippage and unraveling, right? So if you don't have to worry about slippage and unraveling, it means you can wet your hair, you can oil your hair, you can interact with your hair like you had a relationship with your natural hair, only it's in locks. Basically that's the idea, right? Fast forward, it's now coming up to, it's 6 years solid me practicing Knotted Locs. What is it about, right? Ultimately, it's about you forming a relationship with your hair. You deciding when you want to relock your hair. You decide if you want to wet your hair. You decide if you want to oil your hair. You're grown, you make an informed decision, and then you find out about your hair. You discover about your hair. So this is where aging comes in, the conversation about aging, and where I'm concerned because I don't know whether Sisterlocks is talking about aging and locks, but it's a really important conversation to have, because if you've historically had bad hairstyles and now you're moving into tiny, small size locks, zone by zone, by area, by area, by area, every 4 to 6 weeks, it's pulled and tugged. 8 weeks, you leave it, it's pulled and tugged. 10 weeks, it's pulled and tugged. 12 weeks, now the loctician is just, or the consultant is just fed up because you have so much growth and they have to do a lot more work on your head. And they're thinking of the money and they're thinking of the labor and they're not pro your growth, right? Understand this, that being pro your growth is a really important part of your small size locks experience. Like, this is about forming a relationship with your African texture hair. It's great that you're watching other people online. It's fantastic, but it's not your hair. Your hair is your hair, and coming to terms with your own African texture and accepting and loving it is what this is all about. And the answer is within you. You can be inspired and motivated, but the information you need to manage your hair and what your hair needs is within you. Hence the reason why I love my one-on-one. When I'm on a client's head, the hair talks to me. Today, a client said to me, I like the way you touch my hair. She was asleep. She liked the way I touched her hair. I said, the hair told me. The hair informed me. It told me. She had sensitivity to here, the crown. It's already sensitive. And then somebody goes and pulls and tugs. It told me, be gentle. It showed me. The head will show you the back. Touch me like this. Do this. Do that. Like the knots, the pressure points, everything. The hair informs me. And then I just respect it and do it. And then it remains attached. So 6 years, it remains attached to your head. So 6 years down the line, what I'm discovering about my hair, I'm discovering about other clients' heads, because we're all growing together. And it's ultimately about forming this relationship with your hair, understanding when there's a change. So stress, for example, stress can come internally or externally, but it still shows up in exactly the same way. Whether somebody's externally pulling and tugging because you've got a lot of growth and you have this brainwave to leave your hair alone and let it grow, and then you sit in the chair and the person's upset, so they stress your hair, that's cancelled out the 3 months of your healing and recovery and you knowing your hair grows. Your locks can grow and be full. And it's full, and there's growth between the locks, and then the person goes in and just pulls and tugs, and then that undoes all the healing work. And also, it says to the follicles again, you're not safe. You're not safe. So then the follicles slow down how they work, or they slowly become dormant, because even though you're locking your hair every 12 months, 12 weeks, the person's going in and pulling, or you are going in and pulling. And that's fundamentally this issue with growth. You know, like, we're just taught to put away your hair, do something with your hair, put away your hair. The experience of Knotted Locs is living with your growth, living with your situation and letting it work for you. So you're not just wasting time worrying about something you don't need to worrying about the texture hair you have when there's no need to be worrying about it. Your hair is your hair. Your hair is your hair, and you've just got to love your hair for what it does and appreciate it. If you don't, long term, that's where there's the hair loss, and even the grid that people are like celebrating. Eventually that grid goes, because you have so much hair loss, the parting gets wider and wider, and then boom, it's gone, and you regret it and you wish you'd appreciated your hair. So I'm here to try and help you realize and understand, appreciate it now, it will serve you long term, right? If you are somebody young and you're thinking of it, understand that the ripping and pulling eventually, you know, it will show up later on in life. Everything comes back to you. It will show up later in life, right? So what I'm discovering is, as we're aging, our hair is naturally thinning, or we're going through this paramenopausal, our bodies are doing different things, and it shows up on our scalp, on our heads. My issue now 6 years down the line, practicing Knotted Locs, is my issue with the retightnings is that it's not allowing for women to understand what's going on with the physicality of their body and the changes they need to make. So your skin might be dry, your hair might need a bit more water. Yeah. How would you find that out if you've put away your regrowth every 4 to 6 weeks? Just when the hair is calm and giving you information, then you go and put it away. And so that's why I don't practice fix. So, you know, initially when I didn't understand what I was doing initially when I started practicing Knotted Locs. I was practicing it, but I was seeing all the time, including over COVID, the pluses of practicing Knotted Locs, right? And now I'm understanding that it's literally about forming a relationship with your hair. Sometimes your hair will be like, that was really stressful. Like, we've broken up with a relationship, the stress of life. This is how your hair feels. This is how you should react to it and respond to it. So that's why now, you know, from, yes, clients do summer, autumn, winter, spring, 4 times a year. They've moved to doing it twice a year, once a year, 3 times a year. It's evolved, and it carries on evolving. It's not stagnant, because I am doing a practice that I feel has never been done before with Small Size Locs. I'm actually responding to the information I'm getting, and the information is like, yeah, leave it, let them make a decision. And so initially, when a client used to be scared to make a decision about when they want to relock their hair, now they understand their hair, and the hair lets them know, and they sit in the chair, and yes, it's a 6-hour session, a 7-hour session, but the last time I saw you was last year, 2024, winter of 2024. You know what I mean? So it's absolutely fine. Now, I just need you to be aware of the thinning, because natural thinning does happen. Natural thinning does happen, and it's not because you have locks. It's not even because your hair is being pulled. That just natural thinning. How would I put it for you to understand it? It's like somebody who's always been slim all their lives. They're getting older, and they're remaining slim, but their muscles are wasting away. And so they have to go to the gym to tone up so that they don't look like gaunt and they don't look too thin and that kind of thing. You build up muscle. Your hair needs to be like helped along the way, right? So that's where the supplements come in, eating right, thoughts affect your hair. Thoughts can grow your hair or deplete your hair. So all that well-being practice needs to be practiced. But think about it. If you're going through natural thinning, so you've got the environmental, or the response to our past hairstyles, you've got that thinning that naturally happens, and then you've got naturally happening thinning because of our ages, we're getting older, and then on top of that, it's exacerbated by retightenings. Which one could we eliminate? Which one could we eliminate so that we have hair attached to our head? It's the retightenings. So that's what I'm doing. I've had history of bad hair practices, and now I have small size locks. I want to have it attached to my head. That's why the knotting practice just works for me, for clients, online, and that sits in my chair. I can't stress it enough that what I'm noticing is natural thinning, and it's happening with me, where there's thinner, the strands. This is what I'm experiencing, right? And I'm experiencing with clients as we grow together, right? Especially those who I've known for like 10 years plus. The hairs become straighter. So from our African hair being tightly coiled, curly, 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 it's now like this, wavy. Yeah, it's finer. It's not as thick as it used to be. So there's a delicateness to it. I feel like it's reflective of where we are in our lives. You know, like you can take a lot of, I don't know, baggage, issues, struggles. You can manage it when you're younger. When you're older, you're like, I need therapy. Like, because the menopause is happening and life is happening, I need therapy now to understand where are my emotions, what's going on. It's exactly the same thing with your hair. Your hair gets tired of all the things that we used to do to our hair. So we finally rest on small size locks, whatever you want to call it, and then it's being retightened tight. Yeah. Now, eliminating that, removing that is what Knotted Locs is about. And that's simply because it's not being passed through. Like when it's passed through, and it's passed through with friction, and it's hot, and it's like the friction between the strands and the firm, mature locks. I mean, God, that's so painful, and it's done fast. So you'll see some of my posts, I'm showing you can interlock knotted locks, and I practice interlocking, but that's because I knot under it. So I don't need to do it as tight, like retightening. I'm literally just braiding it because it's backward braiding to knot it the next time I see the client, because I just give nature room to do its thing. So my work is to work with nature, and for you to be absolutely content and happy with where you are at with your hair and the texture it is. So it's like a partnership between Mother Nature, me doing your hair from time to time, or me teaching you how to do your hair from time to time, and the knots just sit nicely, right? So I'm stressing this because if you're a young person watching this, understand that everything changes and evolves, and you have to pay attention to what's going on with your hair. That's why I say take pictures. It's fine to choose retightening, but just take pictures. Take pictures of your edges. Take pictures of your back here. Take pictures of your crown. Just do a shake, but also open up and take close pictures. Do it every month. That's what I would say. And if you skip a month, that's fine. Do it every quarter, right? Because what I'm finding is, as you get older, first of all, my back is wavier, straighter. It was already soft, but it's getting softer. So the knots really work with my back, because that was my inspiration, was the back, because it was always unraveling. So so that's really what, because the knots sit and they don't move, and so I can measure the growth. I can see that's the growth. So I love about it. And then here, I explain to clients, hair starts stretching a bit. And what I mean is the texture goes like this more rather than like that. And it's finer, it's much more delicate. So what I've had to do with this area, thankfully, I live with a lot of growth. Look at my growth. I live with a lot of growth. I'm like, you know what? It's a bit fiddly even creating knotted locks on it. Let me just join it, right? I can't stress this enough. It's not the locks that breaks the hair. It's the way it's touched, and it's the way it's cultivated, nurtured, and looked after. If you're always wetting your hair, you're oiling your hair all the way from the base, all the way down to the tip. That's the most important thing, right? But just be aware, if a retightening has been working for you, and then all of a sudden you feel your hair is thinning, pay attention. Just because it used to work for you 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, doesn't mean it's gonna, doesn't mean it's gonna work for you long term. Because when you're aging, that methodology of your hair being pulled like that might just not work for you. It's not for everyone. I'm not talking to everyone. I'm just talking to people who are thinking, something's not quite, my hair's not quite feeling like it used to. It's just because it's not working, because your head is changing, your hair is changing, you're aging, and it's impractical with those fine, your hair getting finer for it to be pulled. That's when you really need expertise, like people who are experienced with regards to African hair, aging, and how to maintain your locks. Because I don't want me, I give you what I give me. I don't want to lose my locks. I don't want to lose my locks. So I am not going to allow a system or method that used to work for me, that doesn't work for me anymore. I'm just not going to allow it on my head, because if I can avoid hair loss, then I would. And so if you're curious about options, I would say just research Knotted Locs. And basically the idea behind Knotted Locs is no pain, no pulling, no tightness. So that's the message, really, is if your hair is thinning and if you can remove one element of it, you've got the history of the hair styles that already has caused damage. You're naturally getting older. What can you remove? Retightenings. If you believe your hair is going to break off, my advice to you is wet your locks. Wet it, oil it from the base all the way down. And even I say to people, and it never really happens, but if let's say you lose a lock or two during my teaching sessions, bring it along with it, online teaching sessions, and we'll talk about options, because there's so many options now, 6 years in, that I teach, because my knowledge is evolving. So every time I teach, it's more enhanced, because what I learned yesterday, I apply today, right? So just bring your locks to the learning session, and we'll talk about options. This specifically, this post is just inspired by the fact that I realize we're aging, and I want how we care for our hair to match the fact that our strands are thinning, our density is lessening naturally. It's not the locks, it's how your hair is being cared for. Now, the advantage of me speaking with you live is that you tell me about your lifestyle, your environment, your vision for your hair, your history. And when I'm teaching you, I'm watching you and I'm giving you feedback based on my 15 years experience of practicing interlocking, small size locs, my 7 years now of knotting, and even my history of now 20 years having small size locs, because I started with Sisterlocks and I was certified. And I can see all the gaps with Sisterlocks. Like Sisterlocks, when they came to the UK to teach, it was all about terminologies and all that and categorizations. And that's so irrelevant now. And now we want to talk about the people's, like for me, I think there's connection between thought and your hair growing or depleting. I feel like it's like oil and water. It's like its whole product, how you think and how you process and your feelings, right? And then the use of water, and then aging, how to manage, everybody's aging, everybody's menopausal experience is different. Like when I compare notes, I'm 52, and when I compare notes with other clients or other friends, it's different. Everyone's got different ways of managing it, and it's showing up in different ways. So how is that showing up in your hair? How are the seasons affecting you? How is this moment affecting you from the other? I just feel like you don't want to be on your own trying to figure this out. And with my combined knowledge, I'm able to support you. By God's grace, I'm still here. There's going to be a moment I'm not, and hopefully these videos help somebody understand their hair better, that there's natural thinning, no one to blame. It's just nature. You know what I mean? You know how fat sits, and before you used to be able to lose the fat, and then now you're getting older, it's a bit harder, and you can lose it, but you got to do something slightly different. You got to understand your body a bit more different, and then bam, you're fine. You get your body back. It's the same. There's tricks, there's little things you need to think about, and then I'm like, let's try this, let's try that. That's why I like the relationship thing. And I think like when I first started this, I have the knowledge, but I'm like, how do I want to deliver it? And I realize I'm like a one-on-one girl. I like talking to you, finding out, forming the relation, giving you information, blah, 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 blah. It's more personal. So even if I give you a blanket, you're seeing generic, that's not personal to you. It's a nice special feeling when it's special to you and we talk about you, and then I give you information based on all my knowledge and I give it to you. So I think that's what I wanted to say. Thinning naturally happens. And when it's happening, don't exacerbate it by doing something that's going to be pulled tight, impatient person, somebody who rejects growth, because maybe you need to have that growth for the fullness. Maybe you don't need to do your hair as much because now your hair's like naturally thinning. So you need your afro and your lock. And then I'm able to give you feedback and say, well, that works. Like my clients, when they sit in the chair, sometimes they'll be like, you know what, Mel, leave a bit of room. And I'm like, I get it. And I do that. Or maybe, Mel, I don't know when I'm going to see you. Just do it close to the scalp. Like there's all different things I do to make sure that the client is, you always have the maximum fullness look. Let me try and take my hair down. Let me try and show you my hair today. Oof. I've had it. Oh my God. You know what? As I'm taking it down, I can feel that I've had it up for too long. Oh my God, the relief. Oh my God, the relief. Yeah. Here is my hair. As I say, my hair, as this is the fullest. Oh, that's nice. This is the fullest my hair has been ever. Ever, ever, ever. This is the fullest. And I just love the practicality of it. I wet it. I swim 4 to 5 times a week. I wash my hair every time I come out of the pool. And people ask me about swimming, you know, the chlorine. I don't smell it because I wash my hair every time I come out of the pool. I wash my hair. And so I don't smell the chlorine. I don't have an issue with chlorine. And the well-being practice that I have from swimming, it outweighs any concerns I might have. Like, it's really helped me in terms of, you know, like people go therapy. My therapy is the water. I need to go into the water and decompress and all of that. And I do that 4 or 5 times a week. And I use earplugs because something happens to my ears if water goes into it. So I wouldn't wear a swim cap for my hair. That's not important because my hair is knotted. But I wear the swim cap, and I wear 2 because I need what I use to block my ears. I need it like sitting in there and not moving. So that's where I wear a cap. But in terms of washing my hair, because I wash my hair almost every day, it's not an event. That's why I advise my clients to just wash their hair as frequently as they want to, because then your hair it's not an event. You can just wash your hair and go, right? Wash and go very quickly because you're doing it in a few days. All the flaking has gone, all the issues that I used to have has gone completely since I started practicing knotted locks, and the swimming has taught me a lot more about water. So this is me. Let me show you the back of my head. I hope you guys are well, and I hope your hair is thriving. This is mine. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, all my posts have my contact details, my WhatsApp. That's just the best way to connect with me. I'm on Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram. It's easy to find me. Even if you Google search me, you can find me, and you can message me through my Google. That's if you have any questions. Feel free to ask. Follow, subscribe, because I have, as I say to you, as I gain my knowledge, I'm sharing more and more and more. Thank you for watching all my shares. Ultimately, this is about your hair and you having your hair attached to your head. That's why even though I'm tired, I'm so tired. I've had a long day. I've come online to let you know you're not alone, and I am here. Yes, I'm posting content, but I'm also here, and my work is offline, and my work is working one-on-one with clients. Hence the reason why you don't see me live, because after my sessions, I put so much into my sessions. I'm so tired by evening, yeah. So, and a positive 2025. I can't believe my learners are flying over from the US and coming to sit in my chair. I think that's amazing. So now they have the knotting experience. They can knot their hair as and when. But it's nice that I'm meeting you guys who I've taught. It's really special. forever connected. So I thank you for trusting me to be part, and I'm honored to be part of your Locs journey, and me practicing knotted locks on your head and seeing your hairs with all your beautiful growth has just been amazing. 2025 has been incredible. So I am here. You are not alone. And I hope this is not just about me coming live and you watching it live, but I hope you can watch this again and again and again, and you get certain information, and it clicks and makes sense to you, that you have a responsibility with your hair. You cannot blame the loctician or the consultant or somebody advised you, whatever. Like, you have to be accountable and take responsibility for how you manage your small size locks experience, who you allow to touch your hair. Are they fans of regrowth? Because I'm about regrowth. So Knotted Locs isn't like a hairstyle, copying a hairstyle. This is it's about you having your small size locks on your head, and the texture is the texture. Knotted Locs doesn't change the texture of your hair. It just enhances it. And the knots work because our hair is curly anyway. So that's why the knots work. So it's really important for you to take responsibility. And if you're feeling a bit lost and you're feeling like, I don't know what's going on with my hair, hopefully my posts help you understand better what you need to do next. But understand this, your hair will not fall out if you allow your regrowth to come through. But what's really important is if somebody believes that and is practicing retightening on your head, then they're going to possibly ruin the growth and deplete your hair because they're trying to, put away your growth and all of that. I show you guys live my hair just so you understand. You can. It's a choice. So for me, it's a choice. Look at my growth, and then look at the knots. It's a choice. So you can choose to wear your hair how you want to. That's the idea. You're not meant to look exactly like somebody else's. Your hair is meant to look like yours. So you can decide. Some of my clients, they like a year's growth. Some of my clients like 9 months growth. Some of them like 6 months growth. You get to decide the growth you want. Ooh, I'm getting confused because I'm using it. Yeah. So that's the kind of growth I live with. So understand that your hair's not, that's fundamentally what I want to let you know. Your hair is not going to break off because you have decided to live with your locks. I'm getting so confused because I'm using my webcam, and yeah, that's all growth. And also your hair's not really going to tangle because I can just pick. Look, I can just select, and then you get this thickness that's amazing. So I love about it. There's no way I would get this level of thickness if I did not. There's no way, because interlocking is just braiding my strands together, plaiting my strands together, but with the knots. And the reason why my knots look like this, because I knot on top of a knot. Like, I like this finish. Some of my clients, when I teach them, they're like, oh my God, it's so smooth. It started off smooth, but I like the crinkled look. So Melissa knots on top of knot. Like, I do crazy creative stuff with my hair because I'm creative. Look at the color. Look at what I'm doing to my hair. I'm a super creative person. I'm just creative. Look, these are my earrings. I paint them. I like color. So my hair is reflective of my personality, and your hair should be reflective of you and your personality. That's the idea. But fundamentally, I wanted to show you my growth so you understand you can live with your growth happily, successfully. It's absolutely fine. I'm still experimenting with my hair. I still experiment with my hair, but ultimately it's never been so full. My grays, I love. I love everything about my hair. I tell you what I love mostly about my hair, apart from the fact that it's never been so full and free. I think I like the journey. I like the journey. So I like the fact that my hair looks like this and it's effortless. And it's not like it used to be intense, the interlocking and the retightening and all of that. But since I started practicing knotted locks, I just feel like I'm just so much more happier, peacefuler. And then I just get this fullness and this identity from the back of my head. You will know who I am. I just get this clean and clear identity, and it's really done in an effortless way. So when I practice it with my clients, it's effortless, it's with ease. And when I teach it, it's with ease. I like the ease of my growth. I like the ease of how my hair is growing. I like the ease of how my knowledge has just been built bit by bit by bit, and beginning to understand ultimately this is not a hairstyle. This is a practice to keep your small size locks separated in the way you choose to. If you decided you wanted knotted locks and you wanted to put it in a grid, then that's your option. I don't get to influence that because you're grown, right? If somebody else doesn't want the grid, great. If somebody else, whatever you want, the thickness, everything is about you choosing. Even if you decide I want to knot away all of my growth, I don't teach you that, because I'll be a hypocrite if I taught you that, because I walk around with quite a lot of growth. But understand that I also knot my clients, and I knot them close to the scalp. So you've got options, and it can be overwhelming. But as we connect and I speak to you, I then go to you, oh, you're sounding like you want to do more, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yeah, Melissa, I understand. That's what I want to move towards. Does that make sense? So it's not just about the knots. That's why I say it's beyond knotted locks. It's about my practice that I'm teaching you, giving it to you, and then you owning it, and then you make it into your own. And then you get your maximum fullness. You get to understand, because you've let your growth come through, you get to understand, oh, my texture's like this now. Oh, my texture's like this here. Oh, I need to be careful. Maybe I shouldn't knot that close here. You get to understand your hair better whilst always being connected to Melissa. I think that's what you get, and you're not alone. So if something unusual happens, we can actually have a conversation about it. So I like that. I like that this whole experience from 7 years ago, when I came up with this solution, when I was so concerned that why is it that we only have interlocking? Why is it that we only have retightnings? Why is it that large size locks have so many options? And I was so grateful for my clients who had large size locks, because I learned so much from them. Why is it they have so many different options? But because we have the small size, we have to base it on the Sisterlocks practice. And please bear in mind, the creator of Sisterlocks, please go and Google her or go and look at her post. She looks like I do her hair. She has a lot of growth underneath her hair. And her sisters have cut off their Sisterlocks. So it's like they are practicing a healthier way to look after their Sisterlocks. So we just need to connect with ourselves internally, understand what our hair needs, and then you get the maximum fullness because you're wetting it when you want to, oiling it when you want to, and you're leaving your hair alone. And when you go in to relock it, you're not punishing the growth. You're not trying to put away the growth. And so therefore, when you start aging, and I'm telling you, young people are watching, and let's say you're interlocking, you're retightening your hair, and you're enjoying your fullness. Do you know how many clients show me what their hair used to look like? And the worst victims of the retightening are people who used to have a lot of hair. And the consultants were like, oh, you've got so much hair, and was complaining and tightening their hair tight and pulling and pulling and pulling, because their hair did not show them that this was not working. Pulling, the friction, the pulling. Think about the logic of that. You take locks that's mature and firm and you pass it underneath new strands, and you think it's going to withstand the test of time. Like, it won't. Well, it didn't for me. There are exceptions, but it just didn't for me. And so for those that understand that method long-term isn't sustainable, isn't satisfying, isn't giving them peace of mind, that's where my Knotted Locs practice comes in to play. There is a negative narrative about knots. What do I do with the knots? My hair's knotted. My hair, African hair curls and has little knot strands. I remember my strands used to have little knots and they didn't move. So I'm just saying, all I'm doing is an extension of what my hair already does, which used to curl and knot. And now that my hair is getting straighter, the knots even work better. It sits better, and it gives me more fullness. So I'm so grateful for Knotted Locs, because Knotted Locs give me a fullness that really, if you go and look at my original post, go and look at my hair and watch and see how my hair changed and when it began to be fuller. As a matter of fact, I feel like my hair really came into its own coming up to 3 years into Knotted Locs, because the first year it was still the interlocking, second year it was still the interlocking, third year it started kicking in, I started really understanding my hair. You know, 6 years down the line, I'm really beginning to understand what Knotted Locs is giving us. And it's individual. It's individual by individual by individual per people. It's giving everyone this individual experience. Some of my clients who I teach, they just travel from state to state and they can't be bothered to be looking for a consultant. Some people are in water, divers. Yeah, like everyone's having different reasons why they're moving in this direction. And then I think what they like about it is they can make it into their own. I think that's really nice. They can make it into their own, whatever that's going to be like. But ultimately, it's about celebrating you, meeting you with where you're at with your hair, with your knowledge, with your confidence, with your vision. I like to know what your vision is, and then showing you how to realize that vision. But you can't rush it. You're not going to get the results within a year. Just like how 3-4 years down the line, you then saw the effects of the retightening. It's the same with the knots. 3 years down the line, my hair just started coming, whoosh, whoosh, you know, it was great. So because my hair came and recovered, it's now balanced with my hair naturally thinning. At least my hair came back from the old way I used to do my hair. And so it doesn't even, like, I'm telling you, I can feel my hair changing. Like, I can feel it getting straighter. I can feel it's less. But when you look at it, you would never guess I'm having this experience. And so even some of my locks, I've ended up joining them because I'm like, you know what? I can't, I can't, like I was in my 30s when I locked my hair, now I'm in my 50s. And so I'm thinking, my hair's changing, I need to adapt. And just because I started with a certain number of locks doesn't mean I have to end with a certain number of locks. That's why I don't understand when people count their locks, because it's ever changing. It's always changing. And even when I re-lock my clients, it's not just a re-locking session. It's like going over the whole hair, reassessing, changing, adding, interchangeable sizing, making it a bit thicker, making that one a bit thinner. Like I do complete work across the head. So it's not just like a relocking session, right? And so I want to reassure you that I am here and I will carry on giving you the information you need to sit quietly, because this is about sitting quietly and figuring out, what does my hair need? It is best to celebrate and work with your hair rather than a hairstyle. Knotted Locs is not a hairstyle, it's a hair locking practice. Thank you for watching this post. Thank you for following, subscribing. I am here. You are not alone. Do not suffer in silence. Keep your locks and your hair attached to your head and fulfill that vision of maximum locks fullness. Take care of yourselves. Until the next time.